Sometimes, in times of trouble, the only thing you can do is ask for help. And if you do, just know, I always got your back.
An operator is requesting medical. An operator is near your location.
And when there's 6 of you, you're almost unstoppable.
To me. I despise, 'cause it means destruction of innocent lives. War means tears to thousands of mothers' lives when their sons go to fight and lose their lives. I said war. Good God, y'all. What is it good for? Absolutely. Say it again. War.
So after my rather negative video about Season 2, I'd like to talk about why DMZ is still such a breath of fresh air, and why it's 90% of what me and my friends have been and will be playing in Modern Warfare going forward.
An operator is requesting medical.
What the hell? Oh! That fireman! That boy Rose birthday! They know! Fireman!
It took a while for the meta to settle in on Season 1, with everyone being unsure about how the flow of DMZ would go, and what the do's, don'ts, and social faux pas would be. But now we're in a new age, one that people have realised. If you go down, say fuck your team and request aid from the squad that wiped you. And if they're decent enough, or frankly smart enough to accept your request and bring you into their fold, you as a squad become a force to be reckoned with. I mean seriously, if you don't accept teammates or try to group when you die, you're playing the game wrong in my opinion. The sheer exhilaration in knowing that if you see another squad, unless they've teamed up too, you have double their squad size. The weapon cases come free and fast when you're in a 6-man team. Even if only one of you dies to an enemy squad, ask to join their team, and then as soon as you're accepted, spam invite local players to invite your teammates and forcibly make it a 6-stack. The AI in DMZ, even after the nerf, can still kick your ass. This is due to the nerf being bugged at points, so we're still kind of waiting to see what has actually been nerfed, because there's still reports of infinitely spawning enemies. But when you have 6 people in a firefight against a stronghold stuffed with AI and third-party players coming in, it just feels so right. The organised chaos, the ability to easily communicate without talking via pings and requests, and the fact that even if you die, you're not out fully, just makes the mode so moreish for me. The amount of AI can almost feel too much at times. But being honest, I would much prefer more AI than less. Aside from the absolutely crazy amount of free XP you can get from them, the rapid pacing of enemies and reinforcements keeps you on your toes and going from cover to cover, location to location, in search of gear, upgrades, and quest items. The amount and damage of AI is a big contributor to the amount of teaming going on right now. If you're getting slapped silly by some bots, you'd gladly take help from other players. You lose nothing in teaming up. You're not sitting around bored, just killing a few enemies and waiting 5 minutes for a resupply chopper. You kill a pack, and then you hear over the radio that tier 3 armoured reinforcements have been called in via heli, and then suddenly a rogue pack of soldiers drive by in a truck, and you've got double trouble. The chaos is much more appreciated and exciting than the calmness. The new map they've added is pretty good, to be honest. It's foggy as fuck, but I completely get it as a balancing thing, to make sure that players aren't getting super cheesy shots. And whilst it was also designed for resurgence in Warzone, which is fun as hell by the way, it really feels like it flows so much better in DMZ. The underground waterway, narrow, cramped, and filled with juggernauts, with side tunnels and rappel lines reaching across the centre of the map. The hauntingly picturesque coastal resort, not abandoned per se, because it never got the chance to be occupied before being commandeered by Shadow Company. And Castle, the classic map that I was ready to be pretty annoyed with if they just kicked it in as a multiplayer map is actually a nice rework, with a classic central layout but with a very different flow to it. The ziplines down to the undertunnels, hiding spots in the water, verticality in the hills and roofs create a really engaging combat zone, and assaulting the bomb maker boss for the weapons case is a fun endeavour you actually have to prepare and bring supplies for. Otherwise, the Wilson and 3 sentry turrets will make you sit the fuck down. But once again, to my earlier point, bring 6 people and it'll be a relative breeze for the squad. Shadow Company are a cool enemy faction, generally more armoured than their AQ counterparts, but after the AI nerfs they were hit harder than AQ in my opinion, which is weird because they're meant to be an elite special forces unit, a literal shadow PMC who operates above governmental permission, except the units can sometimes act like guards out of Metal Gear Solid with how confused they get. Honestly, I have no real complaints about the new map. Maybe it could do with one more squad being added, as if 1 or 2 teams get an early extract, then you're just left to free farm AI and the boss. Which I'm not complaining about, by the way, but that tension about not knowing if other players are long gone or stealthily watching you where you stand is what I love about these kind of games. Now here's the part I'm so on, because whilst I completely understand that for the most part, these missions are designed to create tension points and flow to the map to enable conflict or cooperation, but some of them are just tedious. After wiping the progress from last season, this season sees a new faction released, Crown, that is exclusive to people who bought Modern Warfare 2. I won't say no to more content in DMZ by any means, but it feels like a pittance for those who bought multiplayer and got shafted for the free-to-play modes. Either way, they remixed a bunch of the missions, some of them are in earlier or later tiers, a couple of new ones outside of the Crown faction, and changed rewards lead me to a contention point. Aside from getting your extra insured weapons, the rewards for them aren't really useful. Unless they're giving me building 21 keys, I don't care about contraband weapons, or calling cards. In fact, the contraband weapons feel like a detriment when you're on a winning streak. Just deleting contraband weapons left and right to make space for more contraband weapons you're gonna delete anyway. What if completing tier 3 of all factions, excluding Crown, gave you an extra 10 slots for contraband weapons or keys? Or, to take it a step further and jump back into my last DMZ video, about adding an external economy to the game outside of mid-match. Why don't they just do what Payday 2 did? You earn a fuck ton of money in DMZ. How about upon successful exfil, 90% of your extracted cash is removed for cleaning, and you're given the remaining 10% as a contract fee that can be used to buy account upgrades at a super large price. 1 extra contraband slot permanently. How much would you pay? 250 to 500k? A tactical loadout that would let you have a preset of grenades and deployables without re-equipping them each time, say 200k per loadout? The ability to just buy one, and only one random perk, like successful contract exfil does. Or paying to guarantee what that first perk would be if you did the contract. I'm not putting a price on this one because everyone will have a different opinion. And it could be eased by having the ability to sell contraband weapons for a small bit of cash. Or, if I could fucking sell one of the 20 stronghold cards I can't stop picking up. Deleting them feels like a waste and I'm a hoarder. Please let me get something back for them. But how much in-game cash would you pay for these upgrades? Would you enjoy the external treadmill to run on and upgrade? The money value is purely theoretical, but these things need to come to the game to let it have longevity in seasons to come. I'm a Tarkov shill. That's made clear by my previous videos on both these games. And I don't want DMZ to be one-for-one arcade Tarkov, but you need some middle ground account progression to help keep you motivated and playing when all your faction missions are done. Once people reach 100% faction mission progress, a lot of the reason to play the game goes away, and while you can still play for the fun combat and unique situations, having a permanent carrot on a stick that guides you into doing objectives and getting the bigger reward. That's what extraction royales are for me, and why they feel so truly unique compared to most other shooters. If it's just going to be a case of new season, do the same 1 to 3 tiers of faction and that's about it, then I'll probably only be a casual player of the mode for the easy XP and the fun core gameplay, in lieu of 6v6 multiplayer having barely any actual content. DMZ has so much potential to be a powerhouse mode for Call of Duty going forward. I want to see all new releases of Call of Duty add their own maps, guns, missions, and brand new mechanics to the mode. The iteration we got in Warzone 1 across the games, but given to DMZ 2. I really wish Activision would release player count stats or something for the mode. I want to know if it's doing well, because I see so much positive discourse about it online. Yeah, there's always a lot of complaining about AI or other players' actions, but that's because it's COD. Someone's always gotta whine. DMZ is the mode that me and my friends play the most in Modern Warfare, and I'd really hope anyone watching this video gave it a proper shot. The storage space required for the game is humongous, and I'd really recommend at least least a duo, if not a trio, for the most fun. But it's a refreshing, casual extraction royale experience, and I hope Activision keeps giving it the love it so rightfully deserves, as the most unique Call of Duty mode in years. That's all for me just now. Like and subscribe if you want, but if you're not going to comment about suggestions for or against the new DMZ features, let me know what me and my friend's new duo name should be. We've been dad variations for a while in game, and we need new slick tags for when we shout abuse at other players in the game. Thank you for watching.